All right, what about America now? They were expecting a red wave in the midterms. It didn't pan out that way despite the hapless Biden. It was not even a red ripple, actually. Why do you think that was?
Well, that's a little bit unfair, Cory. It was a red ripple, and it really depended on which of the Republican leaders were running. But you're right, it wasn't the red wave that everybody was hoping for. And there are a couple of reasons for that. It wasn't that Republicanism itself is dead. There was Biden threw a few tricks in the water. He advertised getting rid of student debt, which pulled a lot of the young people to come out and vote for all of the Democrats. And also, I mean, whatever your opinions are on the abortion legislation and pro-life, it certainly showed that the women's vote was down for Republicans, and that was predicted at the time. So I think we should take a look at the Republicans that are succeeding, like Ron DeSantis, and he has, more than anything, taken the war to the woke, and not just in a let's laugh at how crazy they appear to be. He is taking a legal war against those who prey on our children, and that is where conservatives, especially Republicans, need to find their soul and their voice if they want to see a red wave the next time the presidential race starts for the White House.
Yeah, really good point. Okay, the Ukraine war, it still dominates headlines all these months later. There's not as many little flag emojis on Twitter, though, I have to say. What do you think Australia's role should be in regard to Ukraine? We've sent $660 million there so far. Should we be changing our approach?
Well, we certainly should not support an ex-KGB guy who loves to take over next-door neighbours for their resources and considers himself to be somewhere between a Tsar and Stalin. But at the same time, Australia has to be super careful about its own position in the geopolitical landscape. And of course, the biggest threat that we have to our national security is not Russia, it is China. And it's all well and good to give money that we don't really have over to Ukraine, but we must not deplete our weapon resources, because we will need them to defend the Pacific sometime soon. If Xi Jinping makes good on his threats to go after Taiwan, which it's looking like he may be considering in 2023. Now, this is the mistake that everybody makes, but unfortunately for Ukraine, the longer Russia carries on and the Europe is drawn down to that war in Europe, the better it is for Australia, because it's weakening China, because Russia is China's ally and they can no longer turn to Russia anymore for support.
All right. Okay, let's stick in Europe now. Liz Truss, former UK Prime Minister, she's going to go down in history for all the wrong reasons. She was the shortest serving Prime Minister in the UK. Where did it all go so wrong for her?
The problem with Truss is that although there'll be a lot of books written about, that'll be longer than her reign, let's be honest, she was trying to display the strength of a Margaret Thatcher, but unfortunately she did not have the fortitude to stick with her ideas. And no matter how good they were, if you can't stand up against those who wish to destroy you, then you're not much good as a leader. And far from being the lady that turned, Truss didn't even get her leadership out of the port. So that was a shame for Liz Truss. But it is interesting to see the parallel, because Elon Musk fought a very similar ideological war with Twitter, and he called their bluff. He had enough money and enough patience to wait out all these advertisers who left him, and now they're all coming back. Now, if Truss had waited, she may have been victorious, but now we're all stuck with Rishi Sunak, and that's not exactly better for the UK.